welcome to the Sunday School video today with Gavin and Joanna. Lovely to have you with us.
Today we are thinking and asking the question, what is a disciple? So pause the video just now and chat with the people you're with and ask the question, what is a disciple? See what you come up with.
The dictionary says a follower or a pupil.
Probably most of us think about Jesus and the 12 disciples that he had. Those guys that followed him about, that hung around with him, that were just there. We read about them in the Bible.
So we're going to read just now to find out how these guys came to be Jesus' disciples. Okay, we are reading from Luke chapter 5, starting at verse 1. On one occasion, while the crowd was pressing in on him, that's Jesus, to hear the word of God, he was standing by the lake of Gennesaret, and he saw two boats by the lake. But the fishermen had gone out of them and were washing their nets. Getting into one of the boats, which was Simon's, he asked him to put out a little from the land. And he sat down and taught the people from the boat. And when he had finished speaking, he said to Simon, "Put out into the deep and let down your nets for a catch." And Simon answered, "Master, we toiled all night and took nothing, but at your word I will let down the nets." And when they had done this, they enclosed a large number of fish, and their nets were breaking. They signalled to their partners in the other boat to come and help them. And they came and filled both the boats, so that they began to sink. But when Simon Peter saw it, he fell down at Jesus' knees, saying, "Depart from me, for I am a sinful man, O Lord." For he and all who were with him were astonished at the catch of fish that they had taken. And so also were James and John, sons of Zebedee, who were partners with Simon. And Jesus said to Simon, "Do not be afraid. From now on you will be catching men." And when they had brought their boats to land, they left everything and followed him. And then we're going to skip ahead to verse 27. After this, he, Jesus, went out and saw a tax collector named Levi sitting at his tax booth. And he said to him, "Follow me." And leaving everything, Levi rose and followed him. Let's start with the second part of the reading then. Jesus turns up to a guy called Levi and simply says, "Follow me," and Levi gets up and follows him.
Hang on. I know a great game about follow. We can even play it on the YouTube right now. It's called Gavin Says. If I say Gavin Says, you have to do what I say.
Okay.
If I don't say Gavin Says, then you shouldn't do it. And I'm going to see if I can trick you. See if you can follow me properly. Are you ready, Joanna?
I'm ready. Any
Okay.
challenge?
Gavin says, wiggle your ears. Gavin says, comb your hair. Touch your nose. Did I catch it out because I didn't say Gavin says? If you touched your nose, then you're out. Okay, Gavin says, flap your arms like a bird. Gavin says, stick your tongue out. Stick your tongue in. If you stuck your tongue in, then you're out because I didn't say Gavin says. Okay, last one. Gavin says, close one eye. Gavin says, open it again. Gavin says, play a tune with your mouth. Gavin says, touch your eyes. Gavin says, touch your ears. Touch your head. Oh, if you touch your head, you're out because it didn't say Gavin says. So, how well did you follow? Did you follow pretty good? Or did you not really?
Started not too bad, but it went a bit downhill after that. So we have got the same idea as we could see Gavin. Mm-hmm. You could see him, you can follow what he says, you could hear what he says, you can follow what he does. So that's how you follow. And in the same way, Levi, who met Jesus, he could actually follow Jesus. He got up and followed after him. He could do what Jesus did, he could hear what Jesus said, go everywhere with him. But what do we do today then? If we are trying to follow Jesus, how do we follow Jesus when we can't see him anymore? how do we do that? How do we figure out what that means?
That's true. With our eyes, we can't actually see Jesus the man right here, but we do know what he says because we've got the Bible and it writes down what he says, what God tells us to do. So to follow Jesus, to be a disciple of his, we do what he says in the Bible. So that does mean we have to read it to know what it says, because if you don't know what it says, how can you do it? So that's really important. So that's what happened with Levi. He followed Jesus. And to be a disciple, we can follow as well by doing what Jesus says. Now, in the first bit of the reading, the bit about the boats and all that sort of stuff, Jesus showed his power. All the fish were caught. And he told, though, the men who were fishermen, who were good at catching fish, he told them they would be his disciples. But they wouldn't catch fish. They would catch men.
Oh, hold on then. Right, okay. I've got you.
That's a net.
You have to follow
and
me,
I
I've got you.
seem to be caught, but I don't think that's entirely what Jesus meant, because that would be weird if you ran about the streets with a net and you actually caught people.
Okay.
I think you'd probably get arrested and stuff like that, and it would be quite inconvenient and not helpful. They were to make disciples by telling others about Jesus, about who he is and what he says.
Okay, so the job of a disciple of Jesus is to follow him, to do what he says, then to tell others about him also, so that they can join in and follow him as well.
Exactly right. So that leaves us with 2 questions. Joanna can do one, I'll do one. Joanna, what is question number 1?
Question number 1 is, are you a disciple? Are you someone who follows Jesus, who does what he says and lives how he lives?
Have a think about that. But the second one really is, if you are a disciple of Jesus, a follower of his, are you doing that second bit? Are you telling others about him? So that it's not just you that are a disciple, but others can be a disciple, a follower, a learner of Jesus as well. So there's your 2 questions. Have a think, have a chat, and we'll see you again soon.
Great to see you today. Bye for now.